Hey guys, so my name is Salva. Um, I work with Excel Abroad. I'm one of the education consultants there. I'm going to be taking you through the process and procedure of applying for studies abroad. I've studied abroad before, so I know the nitty-gritties. I know what you need. I know what you require. I've gotten a number of scholarships, so I also know how you can secure a scholarship and all that. So I'm going to be taking you through the processes and procedures. Please follow this page and also ask your friends and colleagues to follow this page, because there's going to be a lot of learning and unlearning. Sometimes people think when you're going to study abroad, you have to apply for a scholarship. How can you apply for a scholarship before you have an admission? Are there circumstances where that is acceptable or not? So we're going to be looking at all this. Please follow very closely. Also follow our YouTube. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share the link to the YouTube. I'm new to this thing, so I am not really very good with the videos and technology. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to do something beneficial. So we usually have workshops which are paid for, where we do like training, we assist in detail, take you through the step-by-step guide on how you can apply for studies abroad. It's really important that you attend those trainings. I'll be sharing them as they come along. Now, first things first, studying abroad. Why do you want to study abroad? Before you begin on this journey of I want to go and study abroad, you have to know why. Why? Because the why determines everything else. If you know why you want to study abroad, you will be able to determine which course, which university, which country. All that stems from the why, Because if you want to study abroad as a means of relocation, for example, if you want to go to, let me say, the UK, and you want to use your studies as a means of migrating to the UK, that means you have to do courses which are marketable on the market in the in the UK. You have to do courses which are going to help you secure a job after you graduate. However, if you want to go and study, come back to your home country, Uganda or Kenya or Nigeria, wherever, whatever your home country is. If that is the case, then that means that you have to do a course that is very marketable in your home country. And I'm talking about master's degrees, PhDs, because with undergraduates, you can usually do anything. But when it comes to master's and PhD, you have to pivot your education towards what is going to be helpful to you. The people go and study things, and then eventually, first of all, it's very expensive. So you will go and study something, and then it will be a waste of your money. And then it will not help you. You might go study something because you're passionate about it, because you love it. But then you reach that country where you're studying from, and then you realize that it is not something that is helpful to you in that country. It is not something that is going to help you secure a job. It is not something that is going to allow you to transition into that country, integrate into that country, get into the job market. That is also not a good thing. So it's really important for you, before anything, to know, why do you want to study abroad? That is the first question you have to ask yourself and answer. One, if you want to study for purposes of relocation, choose a country you're willing to relocate to. That's one. Choose a country that has postgraduate opportunities for you to integrate into that country's employment or workforce. Choose a country that has jobs, for lack of a better word. There are some countries where you will graduate and you will not be able to secure a job. But there are countries where it is easy for you to secure a job as long as you graduate from their universities. Choose that country. Choose a country where you will know what course you have to study. Because courses that are marketable in one country may not be marketable in another country. You understand? There are courses which you will do and you will not get a job regardless of how much you look, regardless of how long you look, you will not get a job. You will look and look and look and get tired and come back to your home country, yet you have invested in your education. So choose a country where you know, if I study this course, it's going to be very easy for me to integrate into the workforce, to get a job and settle in this country. I mean, it's acceptable. Using education as a path for relocation is acceptable and it is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. You know, it's not a bad thing. So don't even be ashamed. Although sometimes when you're getting your visa, if you say it could lead to you being denied a visa. But still, it should not stop you from studying abroad. We shall talk about the visa process and all that later on. We shall get into that. But now we are talking about the process, you know, before you apply, what you need to know. One is, why do I want to study abroad? So ask yourself that question, answer it, because that answer will determine what course you're going to do, which country you're going to go to. If you're going abroad to study and come back to your home country, then do a course which is very marketable and on demand in your home country. If you know you're from Uganda, do a course that is, we don't give specific information, that information we give you if you do a one-on-one consultation, to tell you this is the course you should look at because of ABCD, but here I'm just guiding you generally. I'm not going to give you specific information and tell you, oh, this course is more marketable in Uganda, this course is more marketable in Kenya, this course is marketable in Canada or UK or USA. No, that is paid for in our consultations. But I'm just giving you general information at this point. So make sure you're doing make sure you understand the why. Make sure you understand the why. Why do I want to study abroad? Because it is very expensive to study abroad. You don't want to just jump into it. You have to have an end goal. You have to know what benefit is this going to do for me, or what is this going to add onto my life. You understand? So once you know that, then you will be ready to move on to the next step on which country to choose and then which course to do. You understand? So once you know why you want to study abroad, if you're looking at relocation, you will know which country am I willing to relocate to, and which country is a good relocation path through education. You want a good relocation place through the education path. You know, you will know which countries can I use education as a means to relocate to them. There are countries where you will go and study and graduate, and they'll tell you, leave our country immediately. They'll not allow you to even stay for an extra year or months to find a job. No. But there are those countries where the moment you graduate, they give you an opportunity to work for at least 1 year, and if you do well at your job, then they will give you a permanent job and then permanent residence. There are those countries. But again, that information is also paid for. But I'm just guiding you through. This is just general information. The specific information is paid for. So you have to understand that some countries you will be required to leave after you graduate. So if you're looking at countries where you want to relocate permanently, look at countries which allow you to graduate and get a job and work there and then get permanent residence. Okay? And then courses. Look at the courses which you can easily find a job within a certain country. Because there are certain courses which you graduate from, look for a job 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you will not get a job in that country because the course is not marketable. Forget about, I love this, I'm passionate about that, blah, blah, blah. That is one thing, but also do something that is going to be helpful to you in that job market of that country. Okay? So, it's